Welcome to Lesson 1 for playing Dragon Age Inquisition. It's about getting started. Dragon Age Inquisition is available for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and for the PC. And I personally play on an Xbox, but you'll find that the lessons that we're doing here will work for whatever platform you're playing on. In the Getting Started episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the controller first, and the controller is really identical for the PlayStation and the Xbox, a little bit different for the PC. And we'll talk about the series of decisions you make at the very beginning of the game about who and what your character is. And you'll see that I believe that designing your character is one of the most fun and important things you do when playing Dragon Age Inquisition.
Let's start by looking at the Xbox controller. This is the Start button, and use it to start the game, but also to bring up the main menu or the hero menu. The left stick is used for navigating your character in the world, and the right stick is used for aiming the camera so you can see where you're going or just look around. The A and B buttons are used a lot. A is used for selecting, B is used for going back to the screen that you just came from. And the Xbox button is used to return to Xbox Home. If you hit it once or if you hit it twice, you can turn off the console. This is called the D-pad or the directional pad, and it's used for a variety of things. And also on the front of the controller, there are right and left bumpers and right and left triggers. So watch the screens carefully to see instructions about when to use these different types of buttons. So when you start up the game, by selecting New Game, it begins with a bang, and you're immediately taken into a series of important decisions about your character. The first decision is, what race will your character be? You can be human, an elf, a dwarf, or something I haven't seen in any other game, a Canary. Canaries have horns, by the way. All of these that you see here are women. That's because I've picked female, but up here and using the right and left bumpers, you can switch back and forth between male and female. So I'm going to pick a female human, and my next decision is, what class is this character going to be? So 3 archetypes in many role-playing games are the rogues, who are stealthy, the warriors, who are fierce, and the mages or magicians. And in this game, you have also the decision about what kind of weapons will they carry. So the rogue can either have 2 knives or daggers. They can be an archer. The warrior can have big 2-handed weapons or a weapon and shield. And the mage is just a mage, and they always use staffs. So I like mages because they stand back away from the battle, and they tend to live longer. So I'm going to pick mage. And the final decision is the difficulty level, and I recommend that you start out on casual, which is the easiest level possible. Now you customize the appearance of your character, and you're given a selection of options that you can just pick straight out of the box if you want to go with them, or you can pick the one that's closest to what you want to do and hit X to customize it. So I'm going to start with this face here. And my strategy is always, I get a picture of myself when I was younger, and I use it. I look at it like I'm an artist, and I use it to set the many, many settings you can make to customize your character. So this is just the makeup options, which is kind of the last thing you do, and you can pick the exact color of blush and how intense the blush is, and your eye makeup and all sorts of things. Just to show you how accurate these pictures can be, I'll show you the picture that I'm using to create this particular character. So you can see it's actually remarkably close. And if you look at a video of the voice actors, you'll see that many of the characters in the game have actually been modeled after their voice actors. One important tip, take the lip shine down to 0, or you'll not like the effect when you get to the game itself. So here's my character, and I'm going to name her Gray Lightning by typing that in. And just like that, I'm in the game. This is what's called a cinematic or a cutscene, and the game is really composed of a combination of these cinematic scenes and gameplay where you control the action. So this is the main menu of Dragon Age Inquisition, and the first important thing you learn is to save often. The game will auto-save, but you should do manual saves periodically. Now there's some important options to set right away when you start playing. Under gameplay, you should confirm that the difficulty's been set to casual. Under controls, you should look at the camera speed, and I would recommend moving it all the way as slow as possible. Us older people can get dizzy easily if the camera's moving too fast. And then on audio, I've found it helpful to turn down the volume of the sound effects and the music and make sure the dialogue volume is way up, because it's very important that you hear what's being said in the game so that you always know what is going on. You can turn on subtitles as well if you would like to read in addition to hearing. And finally, on the brightness, this is where the gamma setting is where you can turn that up to make sure it's bright enough to see what's actually going on in the game. So that's it. That should be enough to get you started playing Dragon Age Inquisition.